The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. A young man approached Jesus and said, "Teacher, what good must I do to gain eternal life?" He answered him, "Why do you ask me about the good? There is only one who is good. If you wish to enter into life, keep the commandments." He asked him, "Which ones?" And Jesus replied, "You shall not kill, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, honor your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself." The young man said to him, "All of these I have observed. What do I still lack?" Jesus said to him, "If you wish to be perfect, go, sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." When the young man heard this statement, he went away sad, for he had many possessions. The Gospel of the Lord. The story of the rich young man is a good one for us to be reminded of our need for a detachment from our earthly possessions. And to remember, more especially than anything else, that detachment from possessions means, we don't hang on to them more than we need to. It means we don't put too much value into earthly things that we have or statuses that we enjoy or anything like that. That if those things were to be taken away, we wouldn't find ourselves sad like the rich young man, but instead would accept it as God's will. And the saints are great examples of this. So many that had things taken away from them or were put into prison for a time. One that comes to mind, and especially right now, is Blessed Cardinal Nguyen Van Thuan, who, and I don't remember the details perfectly, but I believe it was in Vietnam where he was taken into captivity, somewhere in Asia. Maybe I'm wrong about the country, but he spent some 15 plus years in prison, and I believe about 10 of those in solitary confinement, literally everything taken away from him. And in that, was still able to find God, to spend time in prayer with him. He struggled with the fact that as a bishop and as a cardinal, he wasn't able to minister to his people, but God invited him to love God himself and to remember that God will do the work to take care of the people as Cardinal prays for them while he's in prison. And he accepted that and welcomed that with a sort of freedom from this possessiveness of those things that he had. And God desires that for all of us because it frees our hearts to be open to love him. In the same story from the gospel, when it's told in the Gospel of Mark, I believe, it begins by saying, Jesus looked at the young man and loved him, and then said, "Go, if you wish to be perfect, go and sell all that you have." That this call to a greater perfection to this rich young man, to go and sell all he has to the poor, is a call made in love, to invite that man into a deeper relationship with Jesus, just as we hear him say today, "Then come and follow me." It's all about going to follow Jesus more closely. And it may not be that we'll suffer the detachment from possessions in the way that Cardinal Nguyen Van Thuan ever did. But as we do that, to open our hearts to our real treasure, our true and only possession, God himself, that will prepare us well for an eternity spent with him.